And I ask you, is that difficult for people to open their hearts? I don't know, I am asking you. What is your experience?
Well, my experience is it's very difficult for people to open their heart because we are programmed. Law of change.
Okay, that's a good one. Because I find so hard to change. I don't like change.
Well, Carlos, let me tell you the news. Life is change, and change is life. And nothing lasts. So if you resist, I don't know.
Persist.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go with this resistance? Never give up on the connection with the source. You can give up on everything else in your life, but don't give up on the connection with the source, because that source is love, and you are love. And because of that, love is the law.
As most of you know, the goal of my Healing Cancer in this century, or the goal of being an energy healer, is to find methods to heal. And what I learned over the years is that we have to heal our soul first. Our soul is our energy body. And when I find someone who can bring value to this message that I came to teach people, I interview them. And a few days ago, I found this woman who is a lawyer and wrote a book, Love is the Law. I say, I'm not seeing this. How can a lawyer can talk about love in such a deep way? There is something that this is not real. So we connect, and today here we have Marieta Oslanec, ESQ, and she's, believe me, she doesn't feel like a lawyer. And she wrote this book. Could you show the book, please? Love is the Law. And she will tell us today why she wrote the book. And all of you will feel somehow on different degrees connected to that. Because all of us as a human being have been through the same situations, or very similar. But what caught my attention the most, you know, I am an electronic engineer, I meditate since I was 18, and I am an energy healer. I said, well, I will give it a try to this book. I started reading, I was hooked, I couldn't put it down. I went to sleep late reading the book. And Marieta, just tell us why on earth did you write this book?
Thank you, Carlos.
How did you get to this?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, first of all. I am so honored to be here and to be able to share this message with your audience. And to answer your question, why I wrote the book, well, simply put, I experienced a very difficult time of my life. This was right after very painful breakup with my back then business partner as well as life partner. And that experience sort of cracked open my heart, and through the crack, this beautiful content was channeled. And when I say channeled, I mean it came through me as a stream of consciousness from higher self, so people understand. It was something very natural, almost like when the artist is painting a picture without really me planning, strategizing, analyzing how I'm going to write a book. It didn't happen like that. So it happened very naturally, organically, and it was more like a guide for me to heal my broken heart and step into my greatness and to activate my inner genius, because back then I was completely lost. I didn't love myself. I had no idea what my purpose was. I had no idea who I was, why I'm here. All I had was the pain in my heart, but deep down I had this deep knowing that there is more to this life and we are way more powerful than we think. And I just, out of the pain, I was forced to sort of go deeper to find what I was looking for, and that is love, right? So it took me a couple of years to implement the laws, the universal laws that were channeled through this book, because I want to make sure that I am not someone who is preaching something and I don't live by these principles. So I decided to go on very deep self-discovery journey. I started my other company. Then I traveled the world, started to meditate, deep meditations. And so everything, the journey is in the book. But the bottom line is that all of us are on a journey, right? And all of us are going through struggles and pains and suffering in one form or another. And many of us think that this is something negative, but the truth is that it's a blessing, because all these pains and struggles and suffering, whether it's financial struggles, which I've been there, whether it's health issues, mental issues, I suffered with anxiety and depression in the past, whether it's whatever challenge you have in your life, is there to teach you to go within you, to go deeper and to find what you're looking for, and that is love. And so if we can collectively do this inner work, every single one of us, and I call it activate your inner genius through accessing this potential that is within you, then collectively we can uplift humanity and change the world.
You said many profound things, but the one that I want to rescue is that when we have pain from the energy point of view as an energy healer and spiritual seeker, first of all, you said we are all in the journey, and most people do not know that we are all in the journey. No matter what we are doing, we are in a spiritual path, whether we know it or not. So the pain is our soul telling us, hey Carlos, hey Marieta, there is something that needs to be changed in our life. And I see that, Marieta, in absolutely all the cancer patients when I was working in this integrated cancer clinic here in Los Angeles. When I interview them, all women with breast cancer or ovarian cancer, they told me about the traumatic romantic relationship with a husband, with a lover, with a boyfriend, or the bitter divorce. And after so much pain, they realized that this emotional trauma was part of that depression and the disconnection with the spirit. I always tell people, in the same way we have to feed and clean our body, or cleanse our body every day, we need to feed and cleanse our soul every day. Your book is so well written. Every chapter has part of your life, what you learn, and exercises for people to do. All of them are healing always the soul, healing the soul, healing the soul. And finally, the body heals, the heart heals, the anxiety heals, everything heals. And the result is you're happy. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the chapter 14, the law of self-healing?
Well, the self-healing chapter is about tapping into your self-healing capacity, right? And I have to say, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, right? I am certified Reiki healer, but I'm not master, obviously, so I just want to make sure people get this. There is a way we can heal ourselves through energy, and you know that, Carlos. The way I apply, I'm just going to share my story, how I apply this law to my life. I suffered with severe panic attacks. I was not medicated because I refused to take medication, but it was that severe that I actually ended up one day in a hospital because I thought I'm dying. I thought I'm experiencing heart attack. And it was sort of a luck. I mean, even though there is no luck, so synchronicity, because there was this beautiful doctor who told me back in London, I was visiting. She said, "There's nothing wrong with you, even though you have these symptoms, even though you have severe panic attack. I think you are perfectly strong and capable to heal yourself. And I'm not going to prescribe anything to you because, first of all, it's illegal here. You would need a psychiatrist. Second of all, I believe in you." And this was a blessing, right? That I came across to this kind of doctor who just told me, "You have to deal with it. Just go and buy a tea." Now, in the middle of a panic attack, you know, all the symptoms, you know, you think that like you're about to die, you have such amount of adrenaline in your body that it feels like you need to run and you cry and you go crazy. I decided, back then I already knew that, I knew the power of meditation back then. So I decided to work with my own mind. And I started to meditate deeper. I decided to go for another 10 days long silence retreat where we meditated for hours. And during this retreat, as I was meditating, this was day 4, I had full-blown panic attack again. And so what was really going on, it was the old pattern, the way my brain was wired and fired, that was causing the panic attack, right? It wasn't really conscious, it was subconscious, based on the habits that I was practicing before I created the disease. So as I became conscious of what was going on inside of me, during the act of just observation and not reacting to this attack, as I was in alpha state during meditation, I completely healed that disease just like that. And I experienced it several times, right? So I know it works. And same thing I've done with my severe lower back pain. This was a pain accumulated in my lower back after the very painful breakup, and it was stored there for about 4 years. Very painful, like I couldn't really move, you know. And same thing, I completely healed that in my meditation, first Vipassana silent retreat. So I knew that, okay, it works, right? And as I was witnessing other people going through similar healing, then I got the Reiki certification and I created the co-heal group. But the point is, what I'm trying to say here is that everyone is capable, and I know you know this because I experience you as a healer, you're a very powerful healer. Everyone is capable of accessing this potential. That self-healing law is talking about the energy that is within us. There is the life force. There is the life force that is flowing through us. And sometimes we are blocked, right? Because of the past trauma, the suffering, the experiences. And these emotions are stored in the body. And if we ignore these emotions, we don't process them and let them go, they just become blocks. And these blocks are causing disease. So you have all kinds of blockages on your chakra systems, and you don't even know why, right? Because you don't remember. So you have to go deep within and do the inner work. The bottom line is that there is a hope, because we are very powerful healers, every one of us, very powerful healers. We just don't know how to work with this energy. But once we access this energy, become aware how to use this energy, how to channel this energy, because this energy is cosmic energy. It comes through you, and all you need to do is open up to it. Then you become healed.
Mm-hmm. I like to emphasize, when she says alpha, is a state of the brain of deep calmness that is accessed, in my opinion, only through deep meditation. And I know it because I know how to get there. I have a video that I had a feedback machine connected. I wanted to show to you. I can get to that state in less than a minute, but I've been practicing for 4 decades. So we need to practice. Now, what Marieta said is crucial for anyone. It's not just for cancer. It's back pain, depression, anxiety, because when we are in that deep state of meditation, the energy comes, the light comes. I think everybody can relate to that. That's why I always recommend people to meditate. And the innate self-healing abilities is something that we all humans have, right? It's not that you have it and other people don't, right?
Yes, and the thing is that we have this programming in our culture that we think that, oh, I need to go to a doctor and the doctor is going to heal me. And by thinking and having and entertaining this program, you are giving your power away. Now, I'm not saying you should not go to a doctor, okay? I'm not saying that, but if you fully give your power away to a doctor and you think that just because you walk into doctor's office you're going to be healed, perhaps that's a placebo. That's another story we can talk about other time. But the thing is that nobody has the healing power that you have within you. You just need to access it, right? Because the sickness is decision. It's your decision on subconscious level.
Yeah.
And it might sound very crazy to some, especially if you are ill. It might sound like almost like insult. The truth is, it is decision on subconscious level that you made with yourself. And just like that, you can make a new decision that you're going to heal yourself and then activate that power within you.
Well, it's true. If you are sick, you go to the doctor. But at the same time, you immediately we need to start healing our soul, all these energy blockages, these emotional traumas. Because Marieta, I was interviewing a doctor, Dr. Lodi. He has a clinic in Thailand now. He's here from Mesa, Arizona. And in the interview, he says, if you have cancer now and you had cancer 9 months ago, that means that something was producing cancer. And in his treatment, he says, everybody wakes up at 5 in the morning and we meditate. And then we do some exercise, hatha yoga, and then we have a breakfast, which is a plant-based food. So as a doctor, as a medical doctor, he understood of the importance of everything that you have just said. So we need to go to a doctor for an emergency, but we need to work in our self-healing abilities, healing our soul.
Yes, because when you're healthy, then there is no disease, right? And so if you take care of yourself every single day, and like you said, you maintain the body, the temple, but also the soul, and you nourish your body with this cosmic energy, or whatever you want to call it, through meditation, you are making sure that you are replenishing the energy that was lost, and you are basically channeling the light, which is the higher level of energy.
And talking about love, a friend from Argentina sent me a letter that Albert Einstein wrote to her daughter, and he said, I had a lot of resistance in the scientific community when I came with a theory of relativity. And this, what I am about to tell you, I not even have he didn't say the courage, but I don't even want to talk to people now. I want people to know after I die. And he said, the energy that sustains everything in this universe is love. And Einstein said that. Right?
Yeah, totally. And that's why love is the law, because, we have legal systems. Why do we have these legal systems? Because we need regulation. We need to regulate the behavior of human beings. Why do we need to regulate the behavior of human beings? Because they don't know how to behave. Why? Because we are not following the universal laws. If every single person is following the universal law of love, trust me, we would not need the human-made laws.
Exactly.
We will not need the borders. We will not be divided. We're going to be one planet, one nation, and we're going to be governed by this law of love. And in order to do that, we need to raise the consciousness of the planet.
What I notice is that people going through serious sickness, they lost contact with that love. And here in the chapter 19, you talk about the law of an open heart. What does it mean?
Carlos, I wrote this book a long time ago, I forgot. No. Remember, it was my higher self who was channeling. Okay. Open heart means that the only way for us, humanity, to access this higher level of consciousness, or, you know, some people call it 5D, I also call it 5D, where we're going as a collective, in other words, to evolve. The only way to evolve is through your heart. You cannot evolve through your brain, through thinking, through analyzing. You can only evolve, first of all, if you open your heart, and majority of hearts are closed. And I know that from my own experience. My heart was closed, and I'm working on opening my heart every day. And as we open the heart, we are accessing that energy of love. And as you access the energy of love, you become it, right? That's who you really are, actually. So, in other words, it's to remove the blockages, it's to remove or undone things to you, it's to remove the boundaries, not in the traditional sense, but in a sense of the separation from everything else, right? And that's also another quote by Einstein, who he said that we are living the optical illusion of separation. I'm sure you know that quote, like we are separated from the rest. The truth is that we are one organism, one big field, and as we remove the illusion of separation, we become it and we become love, right? Mm-hmm. So the only way to access higher level of consciousness, to change planet Earth, to help humanity to ascend, and to even help yourself to be practical, whoever is listening or watching this interview, the only way for you to experience the healing, change in your life, in every area of your life, is through opening your heart. That's the gate. You have to open your heart, and then once you do that, your life will shift. Mm-hmm. So it's very important law, actually, because that's the tool how we can access this new way of living and this new reality. You know, there is people talk about 5D consciousness, ascending to fifth dimension, and so on. And it's some people think that, you know, it's something like, I'm going to get there somehow, someday. But you can get there now. You can get there now through opening your heart and living from that place and embodying that energy of love. Because when you do that, you already have a different reality. Your reality will reflect, you're going to have different experience, because again, we are in the quantum field, and that is going to reflect the energy you're vibrating at. And as you open the heart, you're going to be attracting people that are on your level of frequency. You're going to be speaking to different, you know, you're going to have different opportunities and so on. So in order to access the fifth dimension everyone's talking about is really through opening your heart. That's the gateway. You can't get there otherwise. You're never going to get there if your heart is closed and blocked, and all these chakras, especially the heart chakra, is blocked, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me clarify this. 5D is a kind of New Age term that has been known for millennia. It means be aware of the spiritual world, the spirit part of us, which is our energy or our soul. So I remember I went to a seminar, a friend invited me, and the one who was leading the seminar, he was a psychologist, and he said, nowadays we cannot talk about almost anything if we don't recognize the quadruple nature of humans. We have a physical body, we have a mental body, an emotional body, spiritual body. And we have to have all those things aligned. So when she talks about 5D, that means to be aware that we are a spirit. It's a spirit world that in India has been very well understood and given scientific techniques to reach to that. And I am mentioning this because my heart was open when I was 18 and I didn't believe it. When I was 18, I thought that my heart was a piece of stone. And then I start practicing these deep techniques of meditation, and all of a sudden I start feeling that love bubbling from me. I didn't even know where it came from, but this is my experience. However, what we all agree more or less, we need to meditate, to be in the silence. And the other thing that I want to mention, when I was reading all these titles, all these chapters, I said, I know all this. But what is amazing that Marieta did is everything in one place, very well written and easy to read. So I highly recommend you to read this, because it's like a compendium of the things that we humans have to remember and we have to do, not just from here. So, but anyway, my way to open my heart was through scientific techniques of meditation, devotional chanting. And I ask you, is that difficult for people to open their hearts? I don't know, I am asking you. What is your experience?
Well, my experience is it's very difficult for people to open their heart, because we are programmed. Many of us live in fear. Again, that's the programming of society we have. If you are watching news on daily basis, that's the programming you are injecting into your subconscious mind. And if you experience anything painful in the past, painful relationship breaks up, of course your heart is going to be closed, because you are afraid to open up and walk with your open heart if everybody is not nice and they are living in fear. But that is the disease of humanity that we need to heal. And that's why we are awakening to this new way of feeling and being, which is the love consciousness. And so if every single one of us do the work, it doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter if somebody hurt you or broke your heart. It doesn't matter. What matters is that if you close your heart, that's the biggest punishment you give to yourself. So do it for yourself. It's natural to live with open heart. It's not natural for us to live with closed heart. It's very painful, and it is causing a disease on physical level or mental level or whatever level, right? You're not going to be living happy and fulfilled life if your heart is closed. Right, so that is, I say, to be honest, Carlos, I think it's hard for people to open heart. But yet, because the amount of pain, at some point, when you arrive in your life to the moment that you just know you cannot carry on anymore like this, because that is the result of the pain of your closed heart, that's when you realize that, no matter what, I need to open this heart, because it's gonna kill me if I don't open this heart. Like, I can't take the burden of the toxic experience anymore that over the years I accumulated in my body. So at some point, everyone is gonna realize that, number one, there's gonna be a different way to live your life. Number two, I need to open this heart. And then when you start opening your heart slowly, you're going to see that, it's okay, I'm gonna actually, because I'm opening up, I'm experiencing different reality, different opportunities are coming to me, different people are coming to me. Now it's making more sense. Now I feel more alive. Now I feel more home, right? And the moment that you start experiencing this, you're gonna be vibrating higher frequency of being, right? You are merging or integrating the lower self with your higher self, or you are becoming one with source. The closer you go to the source, the more your heart will open. And that is how you are creating the ripple effect, because your vibration of your body is just shifting, you know what I mean? You go and you have the feel around your body is very different. You become wave, you become more wave than more energy than the particle and dense body. So that is also visible in reality. Like, if you know, there are people who are measuring the aura or the energetic field, like people with open heart, the brain heart coherence, they have a very different field. I think like 9 meters long field. So no wonder people are nice to you. No longer like you have different opportunities coming to you. And I've been experiencing this on daily basis, you know. Why? Because the energy, it's the energy that is doing it. It's your heart doing the magic, right? So then you're gonna have different magical experiences on daily basis. And same thing applies to business, right? I shifted from that to more like a business, intuitive business programs. I call it 5D entrepreneurship because I am applying my business skills from the past, but I'm combining it more with this intuitive coaching. So I call it 5D entrepreneurship. Now, the moment you start opening your heart, what's going to happen even in your life, in your business life, is that you no longer can do the old work. And that is the result of the new frequency or the open heart, because it's almost like your heart knows why you're here. What is your mission? You cannot go against that mission anymore because the frequency of yourself, of your being, is so different than the old life or your old job. It's almost like this heart is calling you to do this new purpose, right? And usually this purpose is connecting with advancing humanity, bringing humanity to a higher level and serving humanity, because again, that's based on love. So in my case, the shift happened from being a lawyer, practicing corporate and business immigration law, company that I founded and I created, worked very hard, moved from Slovakia with just $700, graduated law school here. You know, it was very hard for me to build this up. And then I had to decide internally, it's time for me to go. And it's time for me to shift into this new way of doing business, which I call 5D entrepreneurship. And that is very much connected with heart-centered companies that are based on love. And yes, we are making profit, but at the same time, we are ultimately helping humanity. And even if we make the profit, we are making sure that that profit is going to places so we can even more uplift humanity, because we still live in the 3D reality where the monetary system is in place. We haven't transitioned yet out of that system, which will happen anyway. But the point is that as you are transitioning and as you are opening your heart, things are shifting in your life. Like you became a healer, Carlos, because you could not do the electric engineering, like in my case. And if you try to do that, universe will close the door for you. Like in my case, I was at some point, many of my clients just stopped responding. Like it was like universe closed the door for me, and I knew it was a time to finally do what I'm here to do, and I'm ready for it, right? And so as you are shifting and opening your heart, tune into your heart center and tune into this purpose. You don't look for purpose. The purpose will find you. All you have to do is just trust your heart, tune into your heart, and listen, be brave, because the more you resist, the more suffering you're going to create to yourself, and you are bribing other humans of the gift that you have, because you have a gift inside, and that gift can be expressed through your heart, right? So I kind of focus on not just identifying this purpose for my clients, but also making sure that we create sustainable company around this purpose, and together we can serve humanity. So I'm also working on Love is the Law School platform, which you're going to be part of, and so on. The bottom line is that during this process of awakening, transformation, and opening your heart, you will encounter challenges. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Trust your heart and carry on.
I want to clarify, when she mentions 3D means this physical world. 5D means our awareness of this spiritual world. The other thing is, I know that it's difficult to open the heart, but I can assure you, a closed heart means a huge energy blockage there. I've seen again and again people with a broken heart, men and women, in 1 or 3 sessions, they have the heart clear, or what you say, open. So this is a quick fix we need to go deeper and forgive maybe the person who cheated on us, the person who left us, the person who hurt us so badly that caused to close our heart. But a quick and very deep healing is energy healing, because it's all energy, so that toxic energy can be removed. This is the way that I found. And of course, daily meditation. Marieta, I know that we can be talking until tomorrow. So I want you to choose, for example, from one of these three subjects, your chapters. The law or alignment, you talk about that. When we do our work is not aligned with our soul purpose, everything is difficult and painful. The law of being, the law of change, or the law of no attachment. Choose one.
Law of change.
Okay, that's a good one. Because I find so hard to change. I don't like change. If somebody told me, no, go ahead.
Well, Carlos, let me tell you the news. Life is change, and change is life. And nothing lasts. So if you resist, I don't know.
Persist.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go with this resistance?
What you resist persists, that you put in your book.
Yeah, well, the law of change is guiding our existence, either you like it or not. It's universal law. And you try to go against universal law, good luck with that. It's going to be very challenging for you. And your life is going to be difficult. So, no, I get it. Like, I think it comes down to programming. People have this programming inside of them. They think that, things are status quo. And if there is a change happening, they perceive the change as a threat because they are stepping outside of the comfort zone, right? But the truth is that the safety lies within you. The only safety we have is source, it's God, it's universe, the love energy, that is who you are, and that's the only safety we all have. And so when you are afraid to change something, maybe a relationship, maybe you are afraid to leave the toxic relationship, maybe you are afraid to leave the old job that no longer serves you, right? Maybe you are afraid to move to a different country. Or end up in a relationship. Or maybe you are even afraid to go from single to being in a relationship, And any kind of change is scary. And I understand, personally, I've been through all these challenges and it is described in my book. So I do understand everyone if they are afraid. But there is the other chapter called Law of Flow. It's guiding you. It's guiding you to go where you belong. And your higher self is guiding you. And so if you resist this change, you are creating unnecessary suffering in your life. It's really unnecessary. And really what's behind it is just the fear. You have a fear. You think that, if I leave this toxic relationship, there is no way I can be on my own. I'm gonna perhaps die out of the pain. Well, you're not gonna die. It's good to be on your own. It's way better to be on your own than to be in toxic relationship with a person who is no longer serving you, and vice versa, right? If you are afraid to leave your job because you think you're gonna go broke and you don't know what's gonna happen next, well, what if you flip the coin and you see the other side of it? What if when you leave the toxic job that no longer serves you, that is creating the depression, frustration, anxiety, or whatever that is causing in your life, what if finally you're gonna align yourself with the work, with the purpose that is here for you, and suddenly things will just flow and happen, and you'll be like, is this for real or what? Am I living a dream? Because suddenly that work is not gonna feel like work. It's gonna feel like flow. It's gonna feel like ease. It's gonna feel like a hobby. And then on top of that, you're gonna make way more money, because you're gonna be compensated for the amount of work that you are actually contributing on deeper level to other humans. Okay? Then what if you leave the country and suddenly you realize that this is the other country where I feel more home, because this is the place. Also, places have different vibrations. So just trust the flow. It's going to take you where you belong. Suddenly you find community of people that resonates with your heart, and who knows what you're going to create, right? So really down there is just a fear that we are afraid of change. And it's the programming, because we think that if we change, it's going to be difficult or challenging, or something negative is going to happen to us. The truth is, nothing is going to happen to you. Nothing. What's going to happen to you actually is going to be very positive. And so that's why it's so important to have that faith and trust in your heart that you're going to be guided. Source is guiding you where you need to go, and just surrender to it, listen to it, and just get away. Step away from it more and let the source to guide you, because as you do that, you're going to realize, number one, how powerful you are. Number two, this life is really magical journey. And number three, that you're gonna actually live that love and light and that happiness, because it's waiting you on the other side of the fear.
Mm-hmm. From my perspective, the change and the fear can be mitigated trusting. But the trust comes when you have the inner experience of the connection with the spirit. Marieta, I'm pretty sure that when people know about your book and they have your book, they will say, how do I work with this? There are 21 principles. When do I practice? I practice one a day, one a week. What do you recommend? Because people, many people still need a little guidance.
I would say, when you get the book, I would start with the chapter that most resonates with you. I didn't write the book in an order, meaning you can open any chapter you like. If you, for example, have problems with money, you can open chapter Law of Circulation and start reading that chapter. And when you finish reading the chapter, at the end of each chapter there are exercises, practical exercises that will guide you. And I would recommend really to practice these exercises on daily basis, because they are deep, and the thing is, nothing is gonna shift in your life if you don't apply these exercises. On top of that, you can reach out to me. I have a Love is the Law workshop, right? So if people need support and help, they can come to me, reach out, and I will be, launching this workshop, guiding people through these laws, because it's all about implementation. If you don't want to join the workshop, at least practice and apply these exercises on your own, because you do need to apply them. If you don't apply them, it's going to be very challenging for you to change. And I made sure that everything is written in a very clear, concise, simple way. So everyday reader, you don't have to be evolved, you don't have to be awakened. It's a book for people who are going through pain and struggles, just like I've been through. And I made sure these exercises are so simple that everybody, literally everybody, can apply this and practice and do, create a change in their life.
I agree with everything that you said. If you could give our audience just one tip that they can start practicing right now to improve their life, what would you tell them?
Meditate.
Ah, fantastic. I love that.
You have to start creating the connection with the source. The connection is everything. We are all disconnected. Well, not all of us, but many people are disconnected. I was disconnected. That's why out of that separation, I suffered with anxiety and so on. And so if you are someone who is, for example, high achiever, and you think that by achieving certain goals, you're gonna find that happiness, or if you're someone who is looking for love outside of you, going from relationship to another relationship, you think you're gonna find love, Or you are somebody who goes to a doctor relying fully on the doctor, thinking you're going to be healed the moment you enter the doctor's office, then I would say keep doing that, but you're going to realize it's not working. Or go within and start practicing the connection with source. And everyone is very different, and everyone has different journey. For some people it's quick, for other people they need time to connect with the source. For some people, when they start with meditation, they suffer, struggle, because it's not easy. They have monkey mind, and I've been there myself. Just be patient with yourself and never give up. Just keep doing it until you improve that connection with source. I would say never give up. Never give up on the connection with the source. You can give up on everything else in your life, but don't give up on the connection with the source, because that source is love, and you are love. And because of that, love is the law.
I have to say, just to finish, you are a very particular lawyer.
Carlos, I am love is the law lawyer. How about that?
I know.
I'm very blessed and grateful for my background. But I feel like, if you use that terminology, people still associate it with legal community, and I feel like it's probably my other mission to even help this community as well, because I feel like they need it the most.
So Marieta, today is Monday, October 21st, and the launch of your book is tomorrow.
Yes.
Where people can get your book?
They can go to loveistolaw.com and they can choose their own channel preference. If they want to get it on Amazon, it's available, or it's available through different distribution channels. Tomorrow, October 22nd, the book is going to have a very special price if you are ordering through Amazon Kindle. So it's going to be heavily discounted, so I recommend people to, if they are interested in ebook version, they can definitely take advantage of that, because it's going to last for only a couple of hours, the promotion. So simply go to loveistolaw.com or just search for Love is the Law book on Amazon or other channels.
Okay, highly recommended. I have the PDF version, but I want the hard paper. I love to read books, that one. And I like to highlight and to put bookmarks. Thank you so much, Marieta. Fantastic. Thank you very much. It was beautiful, Marieta. It was phenomenal. I love it. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.